Hey guys, so I think we're live. This is a brand new stream that I'm starting here on the channel. So guys, I want to start doing daily streams on the channel. And, it's a better way for us to get, more acquainted with each other. You can fire in questions. I can talk to you guys on a personal basis. So it's a lot more fun. But, yeah, so what we're going to be doing, we're going to be checking out a load of articles from Comic Flick News. So, the main topic of tonight's video is going to be Scarlett Johansson, who's reportedly in talks for an epic lead role in Jurassic World 4. So that's obviously the main point of this video, which we're going to be diving into in a second. But I just want to give you a preview of some of the other topics we're also going to be talking about in this live stream. So, we've also got, nope, that's the Scarlett Johansson one. So, we've also got leaked online trailer, which reveals Sony's scrapped multiplayer game, Spider-Man The Great Web. So, that was an online multiplayer version of the PlayStation Spider-Man games, which looks insane. Also, we have a new trailer for the Unleashed, for the Suicide Squad anime series. So, it's a anime series of the Suicide Squad, which caught me by surprise. But I guess the kind of goofiness and the silliness of the characters kind of lends to an anime style, so that's kind of fun. Then we're going to be taking a look at Fallout, the series, two different worlds. So we're going to be diving into that. It talks about, the pre-nuclear world versus the nuclear world, so that's going to be fun. Then we're probably going to be finishing on this topic here. Superman set photos reveal Maria Gabriella De Feria as the engineer. Actual on-set image of what she looks like in her costume, and I think that's going to be really fun to take a look at. So let's go on to the first topic of today's video, which is going to be the main topic. So guys, this caught me by surprise. I was super happy to hear about this though, but it's not confirmed as of yet, so just bear that in mind. Scarlett Johansson reportedly in talks for epic lead role in Jurassic World 4. Man, this is one of my most favourite franchises of all time. Growing up as a kid in the 90s, having the Jurassic Park movies, dinosaurs eating people, people trying to escape from an island that's filled with dinosaurs. Just absolute fun time. So let's dive into this and see what we can learn about Scarlett Johansson potentially being in Jurassic World 4. So, studio executives have already met with Johansson to discuss the forthcoming movie. Marvel's influence continues to shape the Jurassic World franchise as another star from the universe might be making their mark. Yeah, so it's very, coincidental that, the last three Jurassic World movies have been led by Chris Pratt, obviously a massive part of the MCU as Star-Lord. And now it looks like Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow herself, another MCU veteran, could be coming across to the Jurassic World franchise and being one of the leads, which would be really fun. So, as reported by the Insider, Scarlett Johansson is rumoured to take the helm in Jurassic World 4, stepping into the spotlight previously held by Chris Pratt across the trilogy. Sources suggest that the MCU veteran has already engaged in discussions with director Gareth Edwards and the Jurassic Park producer Frank Marshall. Yet while Universal Pictures has extended the offer, Johansson's response remains undisclosed. So, as of the moment, it sounds like here that they've met behind the scenes, Scarlett Johansson and Universal executives. They've been in discussion, and it sounds like they've extended an offer for her to come on board for Jurassic World 4. But yeah, we don't have any confirmation that she's actually going to be in the movie yet. They may just be finalizing the contracts behind the scenes, crossing the T's, dotting the I's, and making sure everything is above board and all good before they roll out, the announcement to the public that she's going to be in Jurassic World 4. But one of the great things as well, I mean, who is she going to be, who's going to be her co-leads in Jurassic World 4? Obviously, you had Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard in the trilogy of Jurassic World, and it's going to be interesting to see who would she be playing off of, who would be her co-lead stars. That would be very interesting. But Scarlett Johansson, a world-class talent, she elevates material in pretty much anything that she's in. So I think she would do a great job in this franchise, has a bright future if she's going to be the lead star. Love this symbol here. I absolutely love the different incarnations of the Jurassic World logo. You have the classic T-Rex here, and then just kind of the fog and the mist coming through it. It looks so good. So, plot specifics for the forthcoming Jurassic World chapter are shrouded in secrecy, but whispers suggest it could bear the title Jurassic City. David Coop, the mastermind behind Jurassic Park's original screenplay, is crafting the narrative, joining the creative fray. Steven Spielberg has committed an executive producer under Amblin Entertainment alongside Marshall. So that's really, really interesting as well. Let me just go back to this. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this is going to be a triple whammy. Well, more than that actually, because you're going to potentially have Scarlett Johansson in the lead role. You're going to have Gareth Edwards, the director from The Creator and Godzilla 2014. You're going to have David Coop, the original writer behind Jurassic Park, that first movie. And also going to have Steven Spielberg as a producer on the movie as well. So those four right there working on this movie is very, very exciting. Although Steven Spielberg is going to be a producer is a very kind of vague term. For all we know, that means he could be at the end of a telephone being a consultant to the director, or he could be actually on set getting stuck in. We don't know at this point. But as I say, a producer is a very kind of vague term, so it's kind of hard to figure out at this point. And yeah, so in what promises to be a franchise reboot, none of the beloved characters from prior installments are anticipated to make a return, signaling a fresh start for the prehistoric saga. Yeah, so, you know, it's going to be a fresh set of characters, which is good. Let's move on. Let's have a fresh set of characters. Let's see what they can do with the franchise in the future, bring in new fans, do a new fresh spin on what we've seen so far, and that would be great. But I hope Chris Pratt makes a cameo in the future. The guy is great. He's amazing in anything he's in, and I think fans would appreciate him having a cameo, you know, in a future movie of Jurassic World. So we have the box office results here for the actual franchise. So let's have a quick look at this, because this is quite interesting. So Jurassic World 1993 went on to make $1 billion, so that was insane. The Lost World made $618 million. Jurassic Park 3, $365 million, so that was the low point. I really enjoyed Jurassic Park 3. I thought that was a really good movie. The Spinosaurus, I thought it was wicked. I know a lot of people hated that movie, but I thought it was actually really good. So then Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Jurassic World 2015, 1.6 billion. That's insane. It made that amount of money. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom at 1.3 billion, and Jurassic World Dominion at 1 billion. So all three of the last Jurassic World movies have made over $1 billion. It shows you just how popular and how successful this franchise is. So of course they're going to continue to make these movies, pumping them out at breakneck speed to make all the money that they can. But yeah, I think they're fantastic movies. Turn your brain off, have some fun. Yeah, just seeing dinosaurs eat each other, really, really fun. So it's inspired by Michael Crichton's 1990 novel. The Jurassic Park franchise was catapulted to fame with Spielberg's visionary direction. The series revolves around a resurrection of dinosaurs through cloning technology, set against the backdrop of theme parks and remote islands. Yeah, one of the things that he did, I think it was in Jurassic World Dominion, if I'm not wrong, when it was revealed that the girl that was in the Jurassic World trilogy, it turns out that she was a clone using the same technology that they built the dinosaurs with. I didn't really like that direction that they went in, the fact that she was a clone or something, and I think that was a bit too off the kind of kilter of the Jurassic World franchise. It was a bit kind of sci-fi craziness, and I don't think it went with the franchise all that well. But yeah, guys, there's not much else to say here. We've kind of covered all the details of Scarlett Johansson that we know so far. It just goes on to talk a little bit about the franchise. So 2015, the franchise was reinvigorated with Jurassic World, helmed by director Colin Trevorrow. Set years after the event of the original trilogy, the narrative unveils a fully operational dinosaur theme park on Isla Nublar. Genetically engineered dinosaur escapes and the park plunges into turmoil. We all know this kind of stuff anyway. So anticipation mounts as Jurassic World 4 is slated to hit theaters worldwide on July 2nd, 2025. So this movie is rapidly approaching. So many people were, you know, really, really caught by surprise. The fact that this movie comes out in just over a year's time. They must be well into production. You know, they must be sort of like, you know, ready to ramp up. And if they've got Scarlett Johansson on board and they've been talking to her, They could have hired and be talking to other people as well. We don't know at this point. But I'm sure with the movie, you know, a little over a year away, I'm sure we're going to get some casting announcements sooner rather than later. But yeah, guys, so that's kind of where we are when it comes to Scarlett Johansson and Jurassic Park 4. It looks like that she's met with Universal executives. They've extended an offer for her to be in the franchise. Will she accept? That's going to be the big question going forward. If she does accept, then I think we're going to hear some announcements rather soon. And I think a lot of people will really, really like this casting choice. As I say, people loved her as Black Widow. She's been in a lot of other projects that haven't made that much money or haven't had that much success. Maybe this could, you know, turn it around a little bit for her since she's left the MCU. And I hope that it does. I think it would be great. But yeah, guys, so that's where we are. So let's move on to our next topic of the video. So I'm going to try and make this stream go for about an hour or so. We'll see how it works out. And if anybody does appear and you want to ask any questions, fire in a question and I'll try and get to it, guys. I know a little bit about movie knowledge. I don't know everything, but yeah, fire in a question if you have any questions, thoughts or comments. And if there's anything wrong with the stream, if you notice that the audio or the picture or anything is wrong, let me know and I'll try and fix it as we go along. So on to this next one. I know this is technically a movie channel, but we do like to talk about games as well sometimes, guys, because it kind of ties into the whole pop culture entertainment sphere, if you like. I'm going to try and move my camera that way a little bit. There we go. Yep, that's better. So, yeah, this was super exciting. This caught me off guard massively the other day. So, leaked online trailer reveals Sony's scrapped multiplayer game, Spider-Man: The Great Web. Obviously, we all know about the Spider-Man franchise on the PlayStation, Spider-Man 1, and then we have Miles Morales, and then we had Spider-Man 2, which recently released. Those games are universally loved. Everything, the graphics, the gameplay, the cutscenes, are just absolute masterpieces of the franchise. And it looks like they were going to be building a multiplayer game, but for whatever reason, the project didn't come to fruition. So, following a major leak last year revealing insights into Insomniac Games, yeah, obviously you remember that Wolverine game got leaked? That was massive. All the footage of Wolverine got leaked online. That was just insane. A trailer for Spider-Man: The Great Web has surfaced online via GameFragger.com. This sneak peek offers a glimpse into the abandoned multiplayer spin-off. Up to 5 players were poised to explore New York City together, engaging in battles against both thugs and notorious Sinister Six, while executing impressive team-up maneuvers. So yeah, that would be really, really fun. Imagine playing like Spider-Man, but you have a team of 4 or 5 of you, and you're kind of all dressed in different Spider-Man costumes, and you kind of explore New York City together, you know, fighting villains and criminals, just teaming up, and you can kind of tag each other and do these kind of team-up maneuvers, almost like a WWE sort of tag team. That would be super fun. But in reality, when you have a bunch of players from around the world and you try and put them into a multiplayer game, they're not going to play against each other. They're going to sort of go off and do their own things. People are going to spoil it for other people. So having a team-up multiplayer game doesn't always work the way you would expect it to. I mean, look at Helldivers, the way that people drop bombs on each other and kill each other with weapons and stuff. It's just crazy. So, playable characters were set to include Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Gwen, Silk, Ben Reilly, and Miles Morales, with various costume designs featured for each. Additionally, a confrontation with Venom is teased, leaving fans curious about this whole rather adversary or ally in the game. Yeah, so that would have been cool as well, a confrontation with Venom. So you have yourself and you have a few other players, you team up, you find Venom out there in the world, and, you know, you might be able to play as Venom or you take on Venom. But like I say, when you get a bunch of players and you try to team them together to do a bigger threat, it doesn't always work because people don't like to play together as a team, which is unfortunate. So, while the trailer appears to be a concept rather than a final release, by the way, there is a trailer at the bottom of this article. We're going to be checking out the trailer for this Spider-Man multiplayer game that was leaked, and let's see what the trailer has to show us. So, the blend of cinematic and gameplay footage provides a clearer picture of what Spider-Man: The Great Web could have offered. Notably, Yuri Lowenthal, the voice behind Peter Parker, lends his talents to the trailer's voiceover, offering an insight into the game's potential narrative and atmosphere. So it goes on to say this is the voice behind Peter Parker. New York City, nothing in the whole world I wouldn't do for this big, beautiful apple. One moment you're scarfing down a slice of Vinnie's, The next, you're stopping a supervillain prison break, something you can't swing it as a lone wolf, but you're way better off with some friends. I've seen Sinister Six before, but never so methodical, so savage. I don't think I'm going to be enough this time, guys, but together we might just be. The cancellation, reasons behind Spider-Man The Great Web remain a mystery. However, speculation suggests that Insomniac Games may have redirected their focus towards Spider-Man 2, along with plans for DLC, a rumoured Venom spin-off, and the anticipated Spider-Man 3, rumoured to be a 2-part installment. Yeah, so a Venom game is coming. I know a lot of people are going to be really, really excited about playing a Venom standalone game. Obviously, there was parts of Spider-Man 2 where you could play as Venom, and I think fans will buy it up like hotcakes. Venom is more popular than he's ever been. Obviously, we have Venom 3 with Tom Hardy coming out as well soon. So Venom is very much in the zeitgeist when it comes to pop culture. So, where are we? The prospect of never experiencing this multiplayer title firsthand is disheartening, especially knowing that playable build featuring characters like Spider-Gwen and Silk exist out there. Yeah, I mean, getting to play as these iconic different versions of Spider-Man, you know, Spider-Man 99 and Silk and Spider-Gwen, and, you know, it would have been so cool to be able to team up as these different Spider people and kind of fight crime together. But like I say, the fact when you get players together and you try to do a common goal where they're fighting together, people are just going to go off in their own directions. People are not going to want to play ball. They're not going to be they're not going to want to be part of a team. And maybe that's where the project went wrong. Maybe it became more hassle than it was worth. And they figured, you know, let's put our time into a Venom game and Spider-Man 3. That's where the money is. So let's keep our attention on that. It seems likely that Gwen Stacy's involvement in the multiversal team-up had been put on hold. So Insomniac Games narrative director Ben Affleck discussed plans for Silk last year when he said, Cindy's always been a really compelling character in the comics who, similar to Spider-Man's Martin Lee, hasn't really gotten a ton of exposure outside the immediate fan base. There's something really exciting about taking a character who we love, who's not everybody's had a chance to meet, and exposing her to a wider audience. So yeah, Silk as well is supposed to be getting a series on Amazon, I believe. I did make a video about that last month, and I'm not sure what's going on with it. I think it's in sort of a development limbo at the moment, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. Also, there's supposed to be a Spider-Man noir with Nicolas Cage, and yeah, that's going to be interesting to see where they go with that. But yeah, so we have the actual trailer down here, guys. I can't play the trailer in its entirety for copyright reasons, but what I can do, I can skip through it, and we can kind of look, you know, we can kind of look at it like this. So here you have, obviously you have different Spider-Man characters. You've got Rhino here, and they're kind of all teaming up to take on Rhino, which is kind of quite fun. Then we've got a clip, we've got like comic book panels, we've got Miles Morales and Peter Parker enjoying some noodles and a pizza by the look of it. And as we can see here, we got some footage of the Spider people, and you can see them sort of like teaming up together here to take down some criminals, which is kind of fun. And yeah, it's just kind of concept art, and you know, here we go, classic kind of side profile image of different Spider-Men kind of teaming up together. But yeah, it's really shame that this isn't coming out, because I think a lot of people would have loved this. An online Spider-Man game sounds really wicked. But yeah, guys, so that's kind of where we are with that. Leaked online trailer reveals scrapped multiplayer game Spider-Man The Great Web. So look into that more, guys. If you are interested in learning a bit more about that, just go on Google and search it up, because it's very interesting as to what's going on with that project. It's been scrapped, and I don't think it will ever see the light of day. But let's move on to the next topic. So our next topic is going to be a new trailer unleashed for Suicide Squad anime. So yeah, this is kind of surprising. I didn't think that we'd get to see an anime version of Suicide Squad. But then again, I think, you know, the characters are kind of wacky. They're kind of silly, a bit crazy. Is it going to be R-rated though? That's the question. Harley Quinn kind of lends herself to that animated aspect of a character. You know, she's absolutely bonkers and kind of crazy and all over the place. Kind of like what you expect from an anime character. Just a little bit silly, a little bit crazy. And I think it would be really fun. I can't wait to see it. I think I'll definitely dive into it. So, sent into an otherworldly realm connected to our world by a gate, supervillains emerge. The highly anticipated Suicide Squad anime drops an exciting new trailer, offering a glimpse of fresh footage for the upcoming series set to debut later this year. Prepare for chaos as Harley Quinn, the Joker, and the Suicide Squad wreak havoc in Iseke, I think that's how you say it, a brand new original anime production from Warner Brothers, Japan and WIT Studio. Iseke, which translates to Another World, in Japanese promises thrilling adventures unlike any other. So check out the trailer below for a sneak peek in the mayhem awaiting viewers. So we have this really cool poster here for the series. I like this. This artwork looks really, really fun. Almost kind of like watercolors. But yeah, I love it. Harley Quinn here. Suicide Squad got a little crown. Got these kind of necklaces. And she's got Peacemaker, badge. And a Joker badge. So yeah, this is kind of fun. I like that. So what is Suicide Squad Iseki actually about? So in the dystopian streets of Gotham, Amanda Waller, the formidable leader of Argos, has orchestrated a bold plan, assembling a team of infamous criminals for a daring mission. Among them are Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Peacemaker, Clayface, and King Shark. So it varies a little bit from the Suicide Squad that we know from the movies. This one has Clayface in it, which is kind of cool. These supervillains find themselves thrust into an alternate dimension, linked to their own by a mysterious gateway. Welcome to Iseke, a realm of swords and sorcery, where orcs run rampant and dragons reign supreme. So that's really kind of fun. They're being transported to a fantasy realm where there's like orcs and dragons, kind of like an anime with Suicide Squad with Lord of the Rings, kind of like all fused together. That sounds really kind of interesting. Sounds absolutely bonkers. I'm there for it. So I'll definitely be checking this out when it lands, I think. With lethal explosives lurking in their necks, escape is futile, and Ophelia remains a one-way trip to the afterlife. Can Harley Quinn and her comrades conquer this treacherous Iseki realm? Brace yourselves for an adrenaline-fueled saga of the elite task force known as the Suicide Squad as they embark on their own epic adventure. For those of you who are just tuning in, we're talking about a anime Suicide Squad here, which is quite going to be quite fun to look at and check out. So Harley Quinn is voiced by Anna Nagase. There's different names here, guys. Just pause the video and read these names if you need to. I'm not going to try and butcher these names. Under the direction of, so we got more cast and crew here. So just you know, read it at your own leisure. I'm not going to butcher the names, but we have the trailer here. So let's go down and have a look at this trailer. So let's just go frame by frame. Obviously, I can't play the trailer for copyright reasons, but we can go through and look at the frames. So this is the kind of animation style here. This looks super creepy, but this is exactly what you expect from an anime, you know, style of cartoon when it comes to this Suicide Squad. Joker here looks really creepy. Harley Quinn, she looks great in the background there. So we're in a city. Looks like we've got Harley Quinn jumping off a building. Yeah, Joker looks really creepy there, man. Like, he looks great. Exactly what you would expect an anime Joker to look like. Really creepy, kind of scary to look at. Again, we got Harley Quinn. We got Peacemaker. It's great to see Peacemaker in there. I haven't really had that much exposure to Peacemaker, to be honest. Apart from the John Cena series, which had some weird news recently that Season 2 is going to be in the continuity of the DCU, whereas Season 1 isn't. So basically, Season 2 is kind of like a reboot because it's continuity in James Gunn's DCU, whereas Season 1 isn't. A little bit confusing, but yeah. So let's have a look at, we've got Amanda Waller, we got King Shark there. King Shark, I love King Shark. There we go, we got the Suicide Squad in their entirety. Looks great. King Shark's got his hand in some handcuffs here. He's eating some food. Harley Quinn's cuffed up as well. Okay, so we got the orcs there by the look of it. It looks like they're in some sort of castle. And there's going to be some scenes where they're going to be fighting people, which is fun. But yeah, guys, I kind of leave it there. We kind of get the gist of what this is going to look like. But I think this looks great. Harley Quinn in animated form. I'm so there for it. The Harley Quinn animated series is such a fun time. The humor is great. The comedy is great. People love it. R-rated. The jokes are hilarious. And if they can bring some of that material into an anime form with Dungeons and Dragons and castles and stuff, I think it would be absolutely fantastic. So let's move on to the next topic now that we've had a look at this Suicide Squad anime. So this article comes to us from CBR.com. So two different worlds. Fallout Star says Amazon series will explore the pre-war era. This kind of has me cautious at the same time as kind of excited, because I don't want there to be like 3 episodes in a row where it's all pre-war era and it doesn't actually feel like Fallout. It just feels like a 1950s drama. That's kind of what worries me a little bit here. But Fallout Walton Goggins speaks with CBR about how the upcoming series will go back to the time before the bombs dropped. So yeah, it's kind of cool to see that pre-war era and see what led up to the atomic bombs being dropped. Don't get me wrong, but if they spend 3 episodes in that world and it doesn't feel like Fallout because we're spending too much time there, that has me worried. So while the world of Fallout takes place many years after nuclear warfare turned the planet into a post-apocalyptic wasteland, viewers will also be seeing plenty of the time before it all began. So in Fallout, the Prime Video series adaptation of the hit video game franchise, Walton Goggins is featured in the cast as the Ghoul, a bounty hunter whose ghoulish appearance has left him with his nickname. He had been alive before the bombs fell and was left mutated by the radiation, and the character was obviously living a very different life during that time. While speaking about the series with CBR's Tessa Smith at South by Southwest, Goggins shared how Fallout will also be exploring the pre-war era, featuring his character in 2 different worlds. Yeah, as we saw from the trailer, there was footage of him kind of from the 1950s pre-war era before the bombs dropped, and then obviously it cuts to him being as the Ghoul, kind of shooting fools up, you know, with his kind of revolver. So we got to see 2 aspects of Walton Goggins' character as the Ghoul. Really excited to do it, but like I say, I hope they don't spend too much time in the pre-war era and then it doesn't feel like Fallout because it just feels like a 1950s show. Sorry guys, I got a cup of tea here. I'm an old man. I need to get the liquids flowing, otherwise my voice is going to dry up. So, Walton Goggins goes on to say the following, quote, "It was taxing, exhausted, but it was the opportunity of a lifetime," Goggins said. "Can't wait for you to see where it goes and what happens before the bomb was dropped. It's 2 different worlds we are exploring, and it was an experience of a lifetime, not unlike The Uninvited with my wife." Yeah, Walton Goggins, man, this guy has been in countless westerns. The guy is absolutely phenomenal in these kind of roles. He looks like he's portraying kind of like a western kind of character, like a gunslinger. He's a ghoul, but he's a gunslinger. He's got the cowboy hat, he's got the trench coat, he's got the 6-shooter. So yeah, he looks perfectly within his wheelhouse of the kind of characters that he usually plays. Walton Goggins, man, he's so talented. So Goggins was at South by Southwest for the premiere of his new film, The Uninvited, which features the actor alongside Pedro Pascal. This guy is everywhere. I'm just a bit sick and tired of Pedro Pascal, if I'm honest. The film is written and directed by Nadia Connors, the real-life wife of Goggins. As the actor mentioned, the film tells the story of an uninvited stranger crashing a house party, claiming a residence of the home, unveiling intimate truths about other guests that spark drama. So, Fallout brings the video game series to life. Yeah, a lot of people are really excited about this Fallout TV show that's coming on Amazon Prime, but at the same time, we have a lot of apprehension, a lot of reasons to be worried. When we take a look at what they did with Lord of the Rings of Power, you know, the anticipation was through the roof for that series, and then they kind of crapped the bed with it a little bit. The production value was second to none. It was incredible, but the main character, Galadriel, nobody really liked her. And, you know, there was some questionable writing choices with that series. But, you know, the trailers look really good, so let's hope that they can stick the landing for this Fallout series. So, Goggins' Fallout character is based on the ghouls that are also featured in the video game series. He's one of the main stars of the show alongside Ella Purnell, who plays a vault dweller who must venture into the wasteland, as well as Aaron Motten, a Brotherhood of Steel squire. Other actors feature in the show. I'm not going to read it because I'll butcher their names, so guys, read the names if you want to. Geneva Robertson Duarte and Graham Wagner co-created the series, which is developed by Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan. Per the synopsis, the Fallout TV show, the story of haves and have-nots, in a world which there are almost nothing left. 200 years after the apocalypse, a gentle denizen of luxury Fallout shelters are forced to return to the irradiated hellscape their ancestors left behind, and are shocked to discover an incredibly complex, gleefully weird, and highly violent universe waiting for them. Yeah, Ella Purnell's character in the trailer, it's like a fish out of water story. 200 years after the bombs dropped, she comes out of her vault as a vault dweller, and she has no idea about all these factions, these wars, this kind of crazy criminal empire that's going on the surface, and she has to kind of, you know, wade through that world herself. And Walton Goggins, the ghoul, has looked like he's going to be the kind of guide to guiding her through the apocalypse, to keeping her alive. And I think it's going to be a really fun series, seeing that chemistry of, you know, the Vault Dweller and the Ghoul kind of on screen together. how they kind of work together. Is the ghoul going to portray the Vault Dweller in the end? You know, it could potentially happen, but it's going to be interesting to see what goes down. So guys, we're going to be moving on to this next topic here. This just came to light literally before I started doing this stream. I came across this article and yeah, really, really cool. I don't really regard it as a spoiler. I mean, you see a set picture of what she looks like, Gabrielle Defella, in her kind of costume. But I wouldn't really say this is a spoiler. You don't really see a whole lot, so don't worry about any spoilers here, guys. So Superman set reveals Maria Gabriella De Feria as the engineer. I have no exposure to this character whatsoever. I have no idea, you know, who the engineer is, what power she has, her origins. I know nothing about her. So I'm interested to learn as we get into Superman Legacy about her background to this character and how she's going to kind of fit into, you know, Superman's story. So the first photo from the set of Superman have found their way online, and while they don't feature David Corenswet's Man of Steel, they're obviously not going to, they do give us a look at Maria Gabriella De Feria as the engineer. So as filming continues on James Gunn's Superman Legacy, has been dropped in Svalbard, Norway. The first photos from the set have been shared online via Just Jared. Unfortunately, these shots don't reveal David Corenswet suited up as the Man of Steel, but they do give us our first glimpse of Maria Gabriella De Feria in costume as the engineer. The deadly class actress was spotted shooting a scene in a harness, most likely for a flight sequence, and a leather outfit sporting the same hairdo she had in an officially released cast photo. So in the comics, Angela Spicer, or Spicker, I'm never sure how you say that, aka Engineer, is a member of the supergroup known as the Authority. She has a liquid body due to nanites in her bloodstream, and it has the ability to create solid objects with this metal alloy. So it sounds exactly like, is it the T-1000 from Terminator 2? That, you know, the police officer who has the ability, that robot, and he's kind of like liquid metal, and he can shift himself into different objects and weapons, and, you know, and he's like super durable. So it's pretty much that. That's pretty much what she is from the sound of it. We don't know if these exact powers will carry over from the character's big screen debut. However, check out the Superman set photos at the link below, and be sure to keep an eye out for updates. So this comes from Just Jared. We have the first photos of Maria Gabriella De Feria in the engineer costume on the set of Superman. So we have this small image here. We can see she's kind of in a leather bodysuit. She's got the side of her head shaved, but it doesn't really give us anything. It doesn't look at all like the character. But let's click through onto this article quickly and see if we can have a look at these pictures. Okay, so we do have more pictures. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So, here we go. So, yeah, it's just a plain kind of grayish black bodysuit. We don't really see a lot more than that. It doesn't give us a lot away, but it kind of gives us that tease of her character and what she's going to be potentially looking like. So yeah, it looks like she's doing a flight pose or some sort of superhero landing pose. But like I say, it doesn't give us a whole lot. I don't think that's going to be the final costume on screen. But yeah, it just kind of gives us a bit of a look of what she's going to look like. Yeah, kind of a superhero kind of pose. She could potentially be shooting beams out of her arms or something, or have weapons coming out of her fist by the look of it. But this is very, very interesting. So it's kind of cool to see. It gives us a slight glimpse into what she might look like, but it doesn't give us too many spoilers. So I kind of like that. Superman, yeah, so we've got the cast list there, which we already know, so I don't need to go into that. More recently, Sarah Sampino signed on to play Lex Luthor's assistant, lover, Ek Takamaka, and Skylar Gisondo has been cast as Jimmy Olsen. Millie Alcock's Supergirl is also rumored to make her debut ahead of her own Wonder Woman of Tomorrow. Not Wonder Woman, her own Woman of Tomorrow movie, but that's yet to be confirmed. Yeah, there's major speculation that Millie Alcock's Supergirl is going to be showing up in this movie. I think it would make sense to get fans familiar with her before she goes on to make her own movie. I think it would be a great thing to do. Having kind of David Corenswet Superman, Millie Alcock Supergirl on screen, seeing that chemistry, I think it will give us a really good kind of indication of the future as to what will be going on with the kind of Superman family. And like I say, it will give fans a kind of a brief kind of introduction to the Supergirl character before we get the movie. Enjoying a nice cup of tea in a cat mug. I own myself a cat, so I have loads of cat mugs. Don't ask why. But yeah. So I'm overjoyed to be announcing the start of principal photography on Superman February 29th. So they're a good 2 weeks into production on this movie now. So it's moving along swiftly. I think we're going to start seeing a lot of shots from this movie coming out. Will we get a shot of David Corenswet in the Superman suit? Or will James Gunn be very proactive in trying to shut that shit down? Because he's not going to want a blurry kind of image. Kind of like these images we just saw of the engineer. He's not going to want that of David Corenswet Superman to come out and be the first image that we see. So, but then again, if there's people that are walking around the set, members of the public, and they manage to get a shot of David Corenswet Superman, how he's going to stop that from leaking, I have no idea. That would be an impossible job, especially if you're filming out in a public space, as I say, where members of the public have access to, and they have long-range cameras, you know, with a big zoom on it. How would you stop someone from taking a picture of Superman? So it'd be interesting to see in the next couple of weeks if we get more shots coming out from the set of Superman. But yeah, so that's kind of what she looks like as the engineer so far. Like I say, if she is this kind of nano robot kind of character, like, you know, the T-1000 from Terminator 2, then obviously we're not going to see what she fully looks like until the movie. I would assume there's going to be a lot of CGI on her costume and her outfit. But just this kind of black overall, kind of grey bodysuit and shaved heads, kind of cornrows. Apart from that, we don't really get any more kind of information on her appearance. But it's a good first look. It's kind of cool to see, you know, where they're going with the appearance. But let's have a look. Is there any other articles on here that could be interesting to look at? So we've got the Marvel star Iman Vellani wants Miss Marvel to join X-Men. Nobody cares about her. Nobody cares. So there was one other article actually I wanted to look at. Let's go down. So is there anything interesting on here? So this was something that I wanted to talk about on the channel the other day, but I never got round to it. So this is going back to the Fallout series. Fallout TV series streamlines ideas to avoid clash with Fallout 5. Yeah, so apparently Todd Howard, obviously he works over at Bethesda. He works on the Fallout games. Apparently he told the showrunners to avoid certain subjects and topics within the Fallout TV show because he didn't want it to clash with what's going on in Fallout 5. So that was very, very interesting. So if we go down here, while anticipation for Fallout 5 continues to build among fans, a recent interview with showrunners of the TV series may provide a glimmer of insight into the future of the gaming franchise. As excitement mounts for both the upcoming television adaptation and the possibility of the new game installment, fans eagerly anticipate what lies ahead for the Fallout universe. So during an interview with Den of Geeks, showrunners Graham Wagner and Jonathan Nolan disclosed that Todd Howard, the mastermind behind the Fallout franchise, requested certain details and ideas to be trimmed from the upcoming television adaptation. However, Howard had already embarked these elements for use in Fallout 5, indicating collaborative effort in shaping the future of the franchise. Yeah, so there were certain ideas and certain plot points and certain themes that Todd Howard said to the showrunners we're going to be using in Fallout 5, so you cannot use it in the Fallout series. They didn't want a clash of ideas coming across. So that's very kind of interesting there. I don't know how far into production they are on Fallout 5, but a lot of people are going to be anticipating that game. The same with the new, Elder Scrolls game. It seems to have been in development for years upon years. Whether we're ever going to get to see those two games, I think we will, because obviously they make too much money. But it'll be interesting to see when Fallout 5 does actually land with us. I think it's going to be a fair while yet, though. But it's interesting that, you know, they didn't want the show clashing with the potential ideas for Fallout 5. So that was just something I wanted to bring up there. Let's dive into one more topic before we finish off the video. What can we look at here? We could potentially look at... Yeah, let's have a look at this. So we got some comic news that recently came out as well about the X-Men. Obviously, with the X-Men coming into the MCU, we have Deadpool 3. X-Men are going to be at the forefront of what's going on with the MCU. So they're going to be all the hype, all the rage. And it looks like Marvel Comics unveils upcoming X-Men relaunch, introducing 3 new titles and mutant teams. So there's a whole new relaunch of X-Men within the comics, which is great for people who read a lot of the Marvel Comics. Sorry guys, I just need to, my voice gets dry like when I talk a lot, so. Yeah, so looks like there's going to be a reboot of the X-Men within the comics, which is kind of cool. So after the Krakoan age, Marvel Comics unveils X-Men relaunch, introducing 3 ongoing titles: X-Men Uncanny X-Men and Exceptional X-Men. So Marvel Comics is bidding farewell to X-Men's Krakoan age later this year, but the journey is far from over for these beloved characters. Today it's been revealed that the team's new era will revolve around 3 flagship titles. So leading the charge, and Jed MacKay and Ryan Stegman's X-Men, Gail Simone and David Marquez, Uncanny X-Men, and Eve Ewing and Carmen Carnello's Exceptional X-Men each promise a unique exploration of the mutant mythos as they navigate uncharted territories within Marvel's universe. So a whole brand new trilogy of X-Men comics coming, plenty of X-Men content to get stuck into, especially with Deadpool 3 around the corner. That's supposedly going to be bringing in a lot of X-Men from the Fox universe, and there's going to be a lot of cameos from the X-Men showing up in that movie as well. So in X-Men, stationed at their new headquarters in Alaska, the team defiantly raises their banner. Cyclops, Beast, Magneto, Psylocke, Kid Omega, Temper, Magic, and Juggernaut unite against emerging threats, fiercely advocating for the destiny and philosophy of mutant kind. For them, mutant affairs are paramount. So it's not just those 3 titles in this relaunch. There's a lot. MacKay teased, "My X-Men title is where we'll see the first inklings of what X-Men will look like in 2024. I'm very excited for you guys to see it when it comes out." If you look at that lineup, there are a group of people who are not well suited to integrating into the world, and in these books, we'll see what that means and what it looks like going forward. So yeah, exploring that story of integration of the X-Men into the real world and seeing how that works. They're always going to be outsiders. People are always going to look at them differently, and you have the whole political side and aspect to it as well. And we'll have to see how they approach that within these comics. So meanwhile, the Uncanny X-Men, this team is set to establish a home in vibrant streets of the Big Easy, safeguarding a world that harbors both hatred and fear towards them. As I say, people are always going to treat mutants differently. It's that whole political kind of racial aspect of talking about the X-Men. So fans will embark on a thrilling adventure alongside Rogue, Gambit, Nightcrawler, Jubilee, and Wolverine as they once again rise to the occasion, showcasing the trademark X-Men flair in their endeavors to protect the day. I think X-Men fans are special in the way we identify with having something different about us, Simon teases, and you're going to feel that in this book, and what it means to have that thing about you that's different or exceptional. We go deep into the emotional part of that. Yeah, being an X-Men, being a different person, being an outsider, being a mutant, not being able to fit in with people, and there's always going to be that there, and kind of exploring that, what it sounds like they're going to be doing, is a very unique, interesting take, and we'll have to see where it goes. So, longtime fans of Kitty Pryde can also count on kinds of adventures you can expect from her and her classic favourite. While I hope new and old readers alike will get to love this all-new team of young mutants, Kitty, the one-time kid sister figure of X-Men, has to reckon with her own memories, good and bad, of being a child of Xavier, as she navigates a role as leader and mentor for a new generation of mutants who are trying to make their way in a time of crisis. So, despite the absence of heavy hitters, the initial roster remains impressive. Fans may notice striking similarities between the heroes of Uncanny X-Men and those in the beloved X-Men 97 series. So yeah, there's so much X-Men material, like I keep saying. X-Men 97, which I actually forgot about. So you've got this whole brand new line of X-Men comics coming. You've got X-Men popping up in Deadpool 3, and you've got X-Men 97. So it's a good time to be an X-Men fan. There's plenty of X-Men content to go around. So guys, if you like the X-Men, get stuck in, do a bit more research on these comics, and potentially pick them up if you're interested when they come out. But yeah, guys, so that's kind of where we are. We've covered a lot of news in this live stream. Like I said, I'm going to start doing live streams on a more regular basis. I want to be able to live stream and kind of interact with you guys on a face-to-face basis. I know for the first, probably few months of doing these live streams, they're probably not going to get watched that much. There's not going to be a lot of people in here participating, and that's fine. I know I need to build up the audience. I need to build up your kind of trust and your kind of, I need to build up your kind of respect, I guess, in order to watch these kind of streams. I am new to it, so if there are any issues with the streaming, on a visual or audio basis, please do let me know, guys. And if you have any if you have any thoughts, comments, or opinions about these streams, things you would like to see or things you think I could improve, please do let me know in the comment section. And if you're watching this non-live as well, please do jump in the comment section and let me know what you think of these news topics we covered. You know, do you have any thoughts on any of these news topics? I would love to hear what you have to say. Like I say, if you're not watching live, or if you are watching live, I appreciate you being here anyway. Thank you so much for, you know, joining me as we talk some movie news on the channel. I always appreciate you being here, guys. It means the world to me. Thank you so much for tuning in to this live stream, and I will see you guys again real soon. Thank you, guys. See you soon.